Josh Project Man. Oh, good Josh Project Man. Back at it again with another video. Sorry, it's a little distraction here. Back at it again with another video. This is going to be DJ giving his thoughts, man, really quick after having a fresh shower after working abs and doing some cardio today at the gym and stuff like that. Really trying to maintain on my diet. All I've had today is a turkey burger, some fries in the air fryer, a bag of Sun Chips, and a smoothie. That was only like 170 calories or something like that. So we pretty good. But anyway, that's a side note. Let's get into really quick WWE's Evolution. I did see Evolution the pay-per-view last night. And I'm just now making a video on it today, which is now on Monday, the day after that, on Monday Night Raw, which tonight on Monday Night Raw will be in my place, Birmingham, Alabama. I did not go to this one, but it will still be in my neck of the woods. Birmingham, Alabama is where Raw will be tonight, my neck of the woods, my hometown. But anyway, I just wanted to really quick go down the matches, man. Just some of my thoughts on the matches and potentially what may be happening going forward. So let's start off with what in chronological order. First match of the night. Sorry. Is Becky Lynch, the Intercontinental Women's Champion, versus Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley. This was a good match. I was also trying to set up my little bed frame, so I was putting together stuff for my bed frame while I was watching it, so I didn't get to at least the first half, I didn't get to fully absorb how good I was seeing it, but I wasn't able to fully grasp how good the match was. But this was a good match. I probably have to give it like an 8.5. They had really good chemistry in there out of 10. They had really good chemistry in there. Lyra was doing her thing. Bayley was doing her thing. Becky could pretty much work with anybody and get something good out of there. So it was a good match that ended with what we all thought. Becky getting the God done W by way of stealing, who was it? Lyra's pin, I think. I think Lyra was gonna pin Becky or something, or I think Becky countered something and it ended up in Becky rolling up the hold 'em down small package roll up 1 2 3. The cheating, not the cheating. She didn't really cheat. She just capitalized on the opportunity. The slick champion gets in and gets out, retains the title. Now I don't know if they're gonna still feud because SummerSlam I think is on August 2nd. It's also the first 2-night SummerSlam this year on I think it's August 2nd and 3rd I think. And I don't know what Becky's going to be doing. She's doing pretty good with that championship, giving it some value because she has name value. So I think it's really actually helping that championship matter a lot more because it's on a bigger star. And that's where one of those situations of, not going to put it on obviously the levels of, John Cena holding the U.S. championship. But if you want to kind of equivalent, if you want to equate, I guess I'm trying to say, with raising the prestige of a mid-card championship as far as putting it on one of your big main event megastars, technically Becky would be that for the females. I'm not sure see the John Cena of the division, but as far as she would be one of their big stars, giving a mid-card title prestige, even though everybody knows she's a world champion, main event contender type deal, or type of wrestler and stuff like that. So I think it's been doing wonders, and I've always felt that way, especially when they actually make you a star and a multi-time world champion. I've always been one of those guys that say, especially if they book you correctly, I've always been one of those guys that say the best superstars can raise prestige of any championship or can make any feud feel important, even if it's not a feud that people are too fond of. Your goal as a wrestler to show you're really a superstar and a professional is you make everything you're involved in interesting, and I think Becky has been doing a solid job of that. Hopefully I don't know, I don't know if the feud continues or if Becky moves on to somebody else, but we'll see, man, going into SummerSlam what she's gonna do, because that's gonna be the next PLE. But anyway, so yeah, all the women on Evolution, they killed their match pretty much, as far as they killed it in the ring. There wasn't a match that was just boring or anything like that. But as we move on to the next match, if memory serves me correctly, what was the next match? I'm trying to think now. I'm making sure. Was it the NXT Women's Championship match? I think that was the second match. I think the NXT Women's Championship match was second. Jordynne Grace, the challenger, versus JC Jane, the champion. It was a solid match. I'd probably give it like a 7. It was just scraping the surface of a 7. Match was going pretty well. It was flowing pretty good. And then Blake Monroe, who came down to the ring with Jordynne Grace, ended up hitting her with the championship, the NXT Women's Championship, to cost Jordynne Grace the match. And JC Jane hit her finishing move 1 2 3 on to God done Jordynne Grace. So they're gonna easily start a feud between Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe. And I think not down in NXT, but I also think they could also be setting that up for that to be their championship match. Maybe I don't know who takes it away from who though. Like, do they have Jordan Grace take it off of JC Jane and then do a Blake Monroe feud, or do they do Blake Monroe gets the championship and Jordan Grace is the next challenger, or do they just have a feud and whoever wins that feud ends up going to the championship? Not sure how they're gonna do it, but nice little shock ending to the match because I think everybody kind of figured she was gonna be a heel, so I can't say it was like, oh my god. You know, it wasn't like, I ain't gonna lie. Once I saw Blake Monroe pick up the championship, I'm like, it's over. Me personally, the wrestling instincts kicked in, and I was like, as in the knowledge of wrestling kicked in, I was like, hold on, she holding on to that title for a reason. There's a reason why she ain't dropped it or put it down. Another, I'm like, yep, she's definitely turning. But anyway, nice little match, solid little match. Didn't go that long, so I'll give it, like I said, give it about 7. You know what I'm saying? So the next match, I think, was the Fatal 4-Way. No. Was it the Fatal 4-Way women's tag match, or was it the? Now you know what? See, now I'm gonna fact check my own self. See, it was like, Triple H rarely makes these matches now, match cards nowadays, like super long or anything like that. So I'm just kind of like, oh shoot, I gotta check myself for a second because I'm over here like, what was the now? Because I might have went out of, now that I think about it, I might have went out of order. God done, I might have went out of order. Wait, I actually was right, I think by looking at this, I think I was right, actually. I think. Was I right? Hold on. Now I gotta check myself. Hold on. WWE Evolution. Alright, let me see. Was I right? Okay. So yes, that was, okay, I was right. Alright, go DJ. I was right. The Fatal 4-Way women's tag match was next. Look at me, man. Anyway, Fatal 4-Way women's tag match. The only thing notable from, like, it was a pretty good match. I'd probably give it like a 7.5, 8. I'd probably maybe give it close to an 8. It was a nice match. It flowed pretty well. The finish was fine. I wouldn't say it was bad, or I wouldn't say it was great either. Like, it wasn't like this big thrilling finish. I would say it was a fine finish because it just ended with Raquel Rodriguez hitting her finisher in the middle of the ring, and the crowd kind of did a 1, 2, 3. But you know how they'll usually chant the 1, 2, 3. It was like a 1, 2. You know, it was kind of weak, so that's why I could have built up a little better to the finish. But I'm not saying the finish was bad, but I think they could have done added a little more excitement to that ending there. Before she hit her finisher is what I'm saying. But the only thing notable from this match was we actually in 2025, OVO Sound 2025, on some Drake shit. Anyway, the only notable thing from this match is that, other than the fact that, you know, Roxanne Perez is her first ever champion now, as the women's tag team champion with Raquel Rodriguez, as she's basically trying to push out and replace Liv Morgan. We actually got We Want Charlotte chance. We got We Want Charlotte chance at Evolution, man. Now, some could say maybe it's because I don't know. Some could say that maybe the reason why the crowd was cheering or like wanting Charlotte a little bit could be because maybe them pairing her with Alexa Bliss has either made her likable, or because because the fans are going, wow, they're actually like trying to, like, I don't know about humble Charlotte, but they're almost like, as in terms of booking, they're trying to like humble this character that has been at the top for so long, you know, like have never really had. I always said off camera, like, biggest problem with Charlotte's booking is there's never any doubt that she's gonna get a championship again. But with this one, they're actually putting her in a different role and stuff like that, which they've actually done this in the pandemic era. But you know, there was no fans, so it wasn't really anything they could have done to receive it or whatever. Or no one was there to receive the feel of that. But this little relationship pairing between Alexa Bliss, and because they do like Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair, man, maybe it's rubbing off, man, the Alexa Bliss pairing. So hopefully, as they, you know, continue their little tag team friendship, whatever, or not friendship, frenemy-ship, I don't even know, hopefully it just continues to get Charlotte, you know, liked more by the fans, like I said, you know, because they're finally doing something different with her than just having her, you know, take the world championship again. So I think that might be the first sign of it helping. I wouldn't say immediately turn her babyface now, because I already know WWE's gonna see that and go, nope, gotta turn her face. Oh, now we can give her a world title because they like her now. No, slow down. But anyway, yeah, Raquel and Roxanne take the championships, man. So the next match was Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton versus my gal Trish Stratus. Shout out to her on last Friday. I think she wore a shirt that said "My First Crush." I'm like, you got it done right. But Trish looks beautiful as always, man. You can tell that yoga got done doing wonders. She looks pretty much the exact same from when she was, younger and stuff like that. She looked fantastic, and she also looked fantastic in what I thought was a solid match. I would give this like a 7.5 because they had pretty good chemistry, but the only thing I will say about this match is I wish it would have had like at least like 5 more minutes. I think it was like 10 minutes. So I wish I would have at least had like a 15-minute match. I think that little 5 extra minutes would have made a difference, but she looked good in there. And, this is kind of like to everybody who be making it seem like it's always a bad thing if WWE wants to bring back a legend or something. I'm not saying they can't put them in bad predicaments where their booking kind of, trumps the younger talent and stuff like that. But Tiffany Stratton did win here with her, prettiest moonsault. And yeah, Trish looked good in here. Like I said, I wish the match would have gone maybe extra 4 to 5 minutes, but that was the only criticism. So like I said, 7.5 out of 10. It's more like a FU. Like I said, it was more like a FU. To me, it felt like not like they intended this at all, but it's almost like a FU to everybody who make it seem like, Trish is old, she's 50, like, why is she still here? Like, but it's always going to be internet fans and stuff like that hating and stuff like that. But yeah, this was a done one hell of a match, one hell of a match. It was a solid match that I felt would have been like 8 to 8.5 out of 10 if they would have gave it about 5 more minutes. But nonetheless, as we predicted, Tiffany Stratton did indeed retain, man. So I think, because I know I'm trying to think, was it 7 matches on this? I'm looking through now, and I'm like, it might have been 7. I think I said 6. I think it might have been 7 matches on this card, so that's crazy. And I think it was 6 or 7 matches, I think. Hold on, wait, now I'm trying to think. Was it, how many matches on this? I think it was 6 or 7, right? Yep, the triple threat, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4. Yeah. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it was 7 matches on this card. That's crazy, right? The women, well, it was an all-women show, so I can understand that. But God done, the women got 7 matches. But yeah, we can't get this on normal PLEs. It's about 6 to 7 matches. But anyway, moving on. Next match, I don't know if I'm still going in order because that's how fast it felt like this pay-per-view kind of flew by, man. But here we go, bro. I think the next thing was the no holds barred match, if I'm not mistaken. The no holds barred match, I think, was the next match, and yes, it was Jade Cargill versus Naomi. The match, like I said, I didn't. It was a pretty good match. Like this one, I got to absorb the least. Like I got to absorb this match the least. As in, of all the matches, I got to like absorb and really, appreciate the match. This was the one I felt I didn't get a lot of because I was, like I said, I was putting my bed frame together. So this was the one I like least got to really absorb for how good it was. But for what I got to pay attention to, because I was always watching it, but like putting your full focus and paying attention to 2 different things than just having it playing and seeing it. Here and looking here and there and stuff like that. But anyway, solid match right here. I probably give this maybe 8, maybe 7.5, 8, like a little bit more than the Trish match. Probably could give this maybe a 8 out of 10. Some people were even saying that it could be like, Jade's best match that she's had so far. So, that's good praise, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I saw the match, but I got to really, absorb this one the least out of all the matches I was watching. But anyway, ended with Jade Cargill hitting Jade through the, table. And it was the 1, 2, 3, and Bianca Belair was the beautiful special guest referee. All these beautiful black ladies was in this match. It was great to see. And yeah, Bianca, they didn't really tell any story of her like picking sides or anything. So they kind of didn't really do a whole lot of like massive, maybe subtle things, but not massive storytelling there. So yeah, it just was Jade got the win, man. Jade got the win over Naomi. And let's just say the way Naomi's night ended was very unexpected, man. You thinking like, damn, she just lost again to Jade after losing her at WrestleMania. So it's like, dang, like they're like, you're seeing the Money in the Bank briefcase holder in Naomi, like you're like, what the heck? Like, dang, she just losing, and they like, which they almost seems like they do to what every briefcase holder, they just lose because, well, they got the briefcase, so, but hey, like I said, excuse me, her night ended unexpectedly, so stay tuned. All right, next match was the Women's Battle Royal. My girl Jada Parker, Ms. Parker, what I'm saying, she was in that bit. Anyway, it was her, Lash Legend, Sol Ruka, Nikki Bella, Nia Jax. I don't know everybody, but let's talk about Julia. I think was in there. Zelina was in there. The only notable parts happened in this match that I remember like that was Lash Legend. I think a talent in NXT. She really showed her goddamn strength when I think lifted up Nia Jax and got her over the top, lifted her up over her head. to a degree and got her over the top rope, and her and Stephanie Vaquer basically drop kick, or I think it was like just a normal, like a boot or a kick or something. They kicked Nia out of the ring, and it was the last two. It was Stephanie Vaquer and Lash Legend, so maybe they may do something good with Lash Legend, man. Potentially, considering she was like one of the last two in the match. So the match ended with Lash trying to basically, I think Stephanie went for like the springboard cross body she usually does, and Lash caught her, tried to dump her over the top rope. Stephanie did the Rey Mysterio thing where you're about to get dumped over the top rope, but you do like kind of a hurricanrana, using the legs to kind of get them over the top rope too. And so they were both over the top rope, but they stayed, kind of with her legs. I know this sounds kind of sexual, but legs around the head. And she did her, what does she call it? I think it's the Devil's Kiss, right? The one where she, takes her legs and bounces the girl's head up and down with her ass in the air. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Hitting that, she hit that on her like I think 10 times or whatever like that on the apron, and then she like kicked her aside, and Lash Legend was out of the ring, and Stephanie Vaquer wins this match. And Stephanie McMahon, who was introduced at the beginning of the show, gave her a little interview, and she basically was just talking about how people are going to remember her name, and she is La Primera. And as I'm taking my Spanish lesson Duolingo, I did find out that means the first, you know what I'm saying? So, the boy learning a little bit. Anyway, Stephanie Vaquer, she looks fantastic, great freaking wrestler, and now she's going to Clash at Paris to get a world title shot, I think against Naomi. Or is it Naomi? Is it Io? I don't even know. Naomi, Io, Tiffany, I don't even freaking know. But anyway, I don't know who she's gonna face until this match. Rhea Ripley versus Io. Like I said, the Battle Royal, I might give that like a 8, maybe give that an 8 as well. It was another pretty good match. But let's do it. Last match, as Monday Night Raw is about to come on as I'm recording this. Was Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. So the story of this was that Io from the Mae Young Classic that they had in 2018. That was the show. It was called the Mae Young Classic. They had a match in NXT for the NXT Championship, and then they also had a match, obviously the triple threat at WrestleMania, and the singles match they had before WrestleMania, and now this match. So in all these matches that they've had, basically the whole story is that anytime Rhea and Io's faced off, Rhea's never been able to pin her. So I think she's maybe like 4-0 against Rhea, whether it be like combining all the singles matches, triple threats, all that type of stuff. I think she's like, maybe, if I'm guessing, like 4-0 against her or something like that. So she hadn't beat her by this point, and they had a great match. I would give it honestly a 10 out of 10, man, because it couldn't have really been any better. The only notable parts was I think Rhea delivered a Riptide or something. Was it a Riptide or some move she delivered, and that was a close near fall. Io knocked down the referee, and so that led to Rhea and Io fighting on the outside, and Io went to the top of one of the little railings where the fans are at, and she jumped off of that, landed on the Rhea, got a holy shit chant, got back into the ring. Then Io hit her moonsault over the moonsault off the top rope, and that was a close one. That was a near fall. And then the match ended with Io delivering a Spanish fly off the top rope to Rhea Ripley, and then we hear Naomi's music. She comes out there. The bell, she goes in with the referees, puts the briefcase up there to cash in, and the bell rung, and then the bell rung again. Like it rung, then it was like a delay, then it rung again. Like it was like I think they didn't let the announcer, when the announcer announces that somebody's cashing in, I don't think they got to announce the cash in fully. And that's why the bell had to rung like 2 separate times. But anyway, it ended with Naomi beating, I think she hit Io with the briefcase, threw Rhea into the ring post, hit her split-legged moonsault, all these moonsaults, split-legged moonsault to Io in 1, 2, 3. A successful Money in the Bank cash in. Naomi is now your new women's world champion, and I think Stephanie Vaquer is on Raw, so I guess we're gonna see Stephanie Vaquer and Naomi, or unless it changes hands, Naomi at Clash at Paris and stuff like that. So should be a great crowd, should be a great, exhilarating, exciting show. You know what I'm saying? But as Monday Night Raw is starting, I'm literally seeing it on my phone right now. I'm about to put it on the TV. But love and appreciate you guys. If you stayed along for this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Glad to see our sisters out there getting the win. Naomi's obviously deserved it. I think she, she went back to She went to TNA at one point after they did what they did with the whole tag team championship, controversy and stuff like that, and how they were booking that at the time. So she went to TNA and then came back to WWE, did some tag stuff, told some good story with Jade, and now she's the champ, won the briefcase, and now she's the champion. So great to see that, man. As I'm about to watch Monday Night Raw, literally right freaking now, and yeah, man. Great to see it for Naomi. Hope she just keeps doing her thing and doing it well, proving that she is one of the best, man. But anyway, love and appreciate you guys. At the end of the day, what can I say? It is what it is. What it's going to be is this project continuing to come out with content adventures banks over and over again for you guys. It was most certainly a packed wrestling weekend. And shout out to AEW, just a side note, shout out to got done Hangman getting the job done against Moxley, because Lord knows people was waiting for that title reign to end. So that was a crazy match. I saw that match and everything like that with Danielson and Darby Allin, all of them coming out. So yeah, good on them as well. I didn't make a video on that. But Lord, appreciate you guys. See y'all in the next video, man. We're going to keep doing our thing and do it well until we get to the top of the mountain. Work around time and effort's going to be put in to get there. That is the vibe that DJ's on, man. Comment down below your thoughts on Evolution. I shall see y'all in the next video.